Last week, we talked about the TV static, the creepy clown, and of course, that closet scene in Poltergeist.
That dang creepy clown. I thought about it all week.
Do you think that was the start of scary clowns, or were they scary before that?
It very well could be. I don't know. Maybe we need to do a little research with when did clowns start being scary. Of course, there have been clowns that have been scary to some people forever, but maybe in a movie, I don't know. But now for sure, remember that movie that came out not in the 80s, but like It or something with that weird thing,
scary clown.
Yeah.
But, and John Wayne Gacy.
I was about to say
the clown.
that.
But also, the reason I'm even saying that is because I'm like, why would Dana pick to collect clowns? Because to me, clowns are like not a happy thing. They're a symbol of like scary things.
Well, they are if you think about circuses and fun and dun 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 dun.
That's creepy.
Bozo, you loved Bozo.
I did love Bozo.
Little,
the grand prize game, girl.
Yeah. Well, this week, sister, we are leaving the ghost and that dang scary clown behind. But we're stepping into a nightmare that, quite frankly, it feels a little bit too real to me.
Yes. And I'm so glad we agreed to do this movie because it has always been a movie that is so scary to me. I absolutely love it. So it's a story that shows sometimes the scariest things don't come from the other side, like in Poltergeist. They come from right in your own backyard.
That's right, Rule fans. Today, we're rewinding to Cujo.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Missy. And this is Real Sisters Rewind.
Join us as we go back to the 80s.
Hey, Real fans. Welcome back to Real Sisters Rewind, back to the 80s. We're two sisters who love movies and love taking you back to the ones that defined a decade.
And if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to please subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and write a quick rating. Well, leave us a 5-star rating and write a quick review is what I should have said, which is so funny that I just messed that up because I've had so many people ask if when we're kind of doing the intro, if this is recorded. There's your clue. It's not.
When you do write that rating, write that review. Take a screenshot and email it to hello@realsistersrewind.com because we're sending Real Sister stickers to everyone who shows us some love. And you know what, sister?
What?
We have never recorded this late before. So maybe that's why our words are getting discombobulated.
No, I think we have, but we may have had the same problem then. All right, Real fans, let's rewind back to the year 1983, crank up our Pinto, and step into the terrifying world of Cujo.
All right, Real fans, I do have to say happy Halloween because this is right at Halloween time.
Yes, it is.
And this is our last spooky season movie.
That's right. It surely is.
For this time. So enjoy. Cujo was released in theaters on August 12th, 1983. I was just about to turn 7 years old, definitely too young for this terrifying movie when it first came out.
Well, I was 15 and I was right in the middle of high school. And I definitely saw this in theaters. There is a story there if you want me to share.
Yes, of course.
So I had been in driver's ed all summer, right? I mean, not all summer, for 2 weeks of the summer.
Yes.
And like my, one of my best friends.
Hold on. Was this? It's another summer release.
Yeah,
Weird.
another
Okay.
summer release, but later in the summer. But I had taken my driver's ed 2 courses and 2 weeks. And Dana, who was really my best friend, one of my best friends at the time, she was a year older than me, so she wasn't in this driver's ed class. And I actually don't think I had any friends from my high school in this driver's ed class. So I was meeting new people. And I had a serious crush on a boy that was in my driver's ed class. I had had a crush on him the whole 2 weeks, which seems
Where
like
did he
a
go to school?
summer.
Do you remember?
Lumberton.
Okay. Did y'all do your course at USM?
We did in
Okay,
that
we did
big
too.
parking lot there by the Coliseum. And I had had this big crush on him. I had been talking about him for 2 weeks, like even to our grandmother. She knew about this boy's name and all of that. And he and a bunch of the people that I was in driver's ed with came to our house for my birthday, which was July 28th. So again, and that may have been actually the last day of driver's ed. So we did like a
Okay.
party, a swimming party.
Sure.
Well, sure enough, that next the Saturday this came out, I guess it came out on the 12th, so on the 13th, I get a call from this boy. And he invites me to go to the movie with him on a date. The only thing is his parents wouldn't let him drive to Oak Grove to pick me up for a date unless he could bring a friend. And we had a double date.
Okay. Because they didn't want him to have to drive that far by himself.
Right, because it was like 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and obviously he had just gotten his license. So,
Unlike the guy from Florida.
Unlike
no
the guy
problem
from Florida.
He had no problem.
But anyway, so Dana on Saturdays would work at the concession stand at her dad's flea market that was up there by that mobile home. Like if you go down like Oak Grove Road, right where it hits the highway, you would go across. And there was this big like Jim Walters mobile home.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And when they moved out, that's where Mr. Curtis put this like flea market. And it was a huge thing on the weekends. Well, you didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
And
that must have been before she started working at Britches.
Well, no, I think she worked at Mississippi Britches too.
Okay.
But for some reason, Mom drove me up there. Even though I had my license, Mom drove me. We drove up there because I was begging Dana to go to the movie on this double date with this boy and me and his friend. And it was completely a blind date. I mean, she had never even met him, much less one of his friends.
Right.
So this is way too long, real fans. I'm sorry, but it's going somewhere. The movie we went to see was Cujo. Now, when they came Dana got ready at our house, and when they came to pick us up, I knew right away there was not going to be a love connection with Dana and this friend. Just knew it. But remember, I had had the biggest crush on this boy for so long. 2 weeks, but you know what I mean. So we go to Pizza Inn and we eat Pizza Inn buffet and we go to the movie. And for some reason, we did not sit together. The boy and I sat together and Dana sat with her blind date. And I was and it's so funny, I have 2 memories of doing this in a movie. I was so thinking about the boy that I really didn't think much about the movie. And this boy that I had the crush on kissed me during the movie.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
When is the kissable moment?
It was none. It was not. Now that I'm telling the story, it feels like Seinfeld in Schindler's List, where he was supposedly kissing during Schindler's List. But I couldn't focus on the movie because I was so crushed on this boy. But something happened, and by the time we got home. I didn't really like this boy.
Oh my gosh, not
And
again.
Mama
Not
Mac
again.
was like, "You are so fickle when
Yeah.
it comes to boys." And I guess I was, but that is when I saw Cujo.
Well,
But to
thank
be honest, I didn't really remember much about it, except,
I cannot believe you didn't like him after that.
I didn't. It just,
Oh my gosh,
well,
sister, that's just like what
he
you
was a
did to
nice
the
person.
Florida boy.
I know. I'm sorry. But I mean, obviously, I got over my fickleness. I've been married 35 years to the same guy.
Man,
I know, right?
wow. I had a crush on a guy in driver's ed too. I remember he
I
went to
guess that's the
pedal.
thing.
Yeah, he went to pedal. Um, okay, so get us back on track. You saw the movie obviously in person. You didn't really remember it, so it wasn't like it was a scary experience.
Right.
Well, it would have scared me. And I do remember I saw it in high school on like a rental, like a Blockbuster. Like we rented it from Blockbuster with some of my friends. And I thought it was so dang scary. You know what else is really, I think, makes this movie stand out as being scary is a Stephen King. It's a Stephen King story. It's a
Yeah.
Stephen King book.
Right.
And so, I mean, his stuff back then was really scary. And I will say to the real fans, we waffled between doing Cujo and another big Stephen King film.
I'm trying to. Oh, The
The Sh-
Shining.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
and then my husband, speaking of Chris Washam, wanted us, it was just determined we were going to do American Werewolf in London. And I
yeah,
was like, no,
nope,
that's not happening.
nope.
Yeah.
And I just will say I pushed the envelope to get Cujo because I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't. There's there are only very specific parts to me of The Shining that are scary. Otherwise, I feel like it's kind of boring. So this movie is not boring.
It is not boring. And I will say it definitely plays into childhood fears I had for
Hmm.
real about dogs, big dogs. I
I
was
still
helping,
have.
yeah, I do too. I was helping Aunt Sis deliver Tupperware when I was about 5 years old, and I got chased by a German Shepherd. And then I was over at Uncle Winnie's house, and he got a Doberman Pinscher once. And little did I know he had been like trained military style or something. And so if you brought
Oh,
your arm up kind
uh-huh.
of to protect yourself, he was trained to like
To its
attack.
sure.
And so there was that. So I had a little flashback from my childhood there. So this movie
Remember,
really
I
was
was a.
horrifying to me.
Do you remember I was attacked by our neighbor's dog?
Yes, I surely do. The Brinkleys were our next door neighbors.
Did I tell that story already when I was playing on top of the? It was after we got our swimming pool,
No, I don't think
and
you've told it.
it was the so we had our swimming pool, and for those of you who don't know, like we lived way out in the country, and so basically on a pecan orchard. So when they dug up the dirt from the swimming pool, they like just dumped it by our grandmother's trailer.
Yeah, they did.
But it was fun. It made this huge dirt pile and we play on it. Well, I was out there playing on the dirt pile one day all by myself, just minding my own business. And I was little. And their Doberman Pinscher got out and ran up that hill and attacked me. And I remember rolling me down the hill. And in retrospect, he may have been just trying to play, but I was little. And so it was
Yeah,
really
you
scary.
were.
And Mama Mac came out with a stick, came out of the trailer with a stick to get him. And I remember Daddy called them and gave him the
Probably
piece of
not.
his mind.
Probably not a great thing to get a call from daddy about something
No,
like
and then I was so scared to go. I would make Mama come out of the house and watch me run to Mama Max, and I would run. I was like 4 years old. I would
that. Girl,
run.
I was still running to Mama Max at the nighttime when I was like 17 years old.
That's
Like
scary.
if I was going from our house to Mama Max, which now is like, I think about it was such a short distance,
Was
but
it? It feels so long in my mind. It feels
no,
so
it was a
far
short distance, but it was just like in my mind, somebody was in our yard and after
behind one of
me.
those trees.
Yes, yes.
It was a long
Well,
way in my mind too.
let's hop in, sister, to our
Okay.
pop culture spotlight for
Yes, and we'll
when
have to go quick
Cujo
because
hit
I know
theaters. Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
talking a lot. So here we go. Okay, so the number one song in the U.S. that week was "Every Breath You Take." I love that song so much. And Eric was literally. It's so funny because he was just talking about this song last night. He was like, "Ooh, maybe that song is why I was always so scared at my house when I'd be at home alone." So, because it's like
Why?
I'll be watching you. It's
Oh,
like I
yeah.
always felt like somebody was like in my house.
Yeah. Um, I saw two songs on the list. It was that she works hard for the money.
Yeah, this is a
It was in the top
good
10.
list.
Yeah. And then Maniac,
Hmm.
Maniac, I sure know.
Hmm.
Oh, and also, what a feeling.
Ba, 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 ba. And where did it go? Oh, sweet dreams are made of these.
Oh, yeah.
Who am I to
Who was that? The
disagree?
Eurythmics?
Uh-huh. That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
really good one.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, there was
Well,
a lot of good ones.
there was on television in 1983, you had Dallas just dominating the charts again because we lived in the country. We didn't see that one. Also, up there was the A Team, which I loved, but rather than just repeat, it seems like it's always like Dallas or the Cosby Show that we talk
Hmm.
about. There was a new show that had premiered that summer, and I remember you loved it, and
Uh-huh.
it
I know
was
it.
Reading Rainbow.
We need to take a pause, friends,
Okay,
because I
okay.
know that we talked a lot already, but this is important because everyone that is within like 3 to 5 years of my age
Hmm.
loved Reading Rainbow. There is a special connection we have with Lamar Burton
Was it
and
Lamar or
LeVar. Or is it
Lavar? Yeah.
Lamar? I don't know.
No,
I'll have
I
to
don't.
look
I
this up.
thought you said Lamar. That's why. So we're right. It was.
And that song will live in our hearts forever, etched
Hmm.
in our hearts forever. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading
Reading
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. I'm not even kidding you. Like
Yeah.
that. And then so he would read a book. This is the best part.
Yeah, and he had such a great like
Oh
velvet
my
voice.
gosh. And he had this big smile. He was so
Yeah,
joyful. And at the end of every like little segment, there would be this music and it would be like, "Ba-dum, bum." It was the best.
yeah.
Loved it. Loved
Well,
it.
I knew you'd love me sharing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Cover of People magazine. Oh, we got Diana Ross. Um, it's the concert, the controversy, and her Michael Jackson connection. I think we've actually mentioned this one before because I remember being like, "Ooh, what's the Michael Jackson connection?" If I remember correctly, um, Diana Ross and Michael Jackson were close
They were very
at
close. She
some
was like a
point.
mother figure to him.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
for
yes.
sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. So if we go into Do You Remember? I know you don't remember this. I wish we all could remember it, but do you remember when gas was less than $1 a gallon?
Nope,
Yes, ma'am. In
sure don't.
1983, it was, are you ready for it? 96 cents.
Amazing.
I know.
Ab Absolutely amazing. Now, do you remember the show Fraggle Rock that came
Down in
on?
Fraggle Rock.
Yes, it
Down in
came
Fraggle Rock.
on the early days of HBO. So this is one of the things that I loved on HBO.
It was like one of their signature shows, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and it was actually the late great Jim Henson's
Yep.
creation. So it was one of
He
his.
did the Muppets too, huh? Yep.
Yeah, and I loved the Muppet Show so much. But yes, Fraggle Rock was another one that same people that would love Reading Rainbow would absolutely know Fraggle Rock. And if they heard Dance your cares away. Trouble, something worries for another day. They would know. It's Fraggle Rock. Like, you just
Yeah.
know. It's the best.
All right, here's
Loved it.
one more. And before I explain to you what it is, because I'm pretty sure you had one of these, I want to ask, do you remember a clavinova?
No.
So
No.
the clavinova was the name of like the keyboards that you could like put in your lap, or you could put them up on your bed, and you could like
Oh, yeah.
play an electric keyboard.
Yeah,
And
I
they
did.
came out in 83 in a way where they were like mass produced, and you could
Oh,
actually
yeah.
have them to play with. And you had
Definitely.
like
Definitely.
with
And
the
this,
synthesizer and stuff
uh-huh.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, our favorite thing to do was, this is when I was a little bit older, like fourth grade, fifth grade, was to Kelly Carter and
I knew it was going to be Kelly Carter. I remember this.
we would play Salt and Pepper, Push It. Ding, 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 ding,
You know what it made me think of? It made me think of the Office episode where everybody goes to Gabe's, and Gabe's like playing his seascapes on the clavinova.
Yes,
And that's the
the
episode where
clavinova.
Eddie, I mean not where Eddie, where oh
Oh, Sister Dwight?
no, Andy, where
Andy.
Andy eats the seahorses that are supposed to
Yeah.
get such power.
Oh, that's right.
And he gets so sick. So
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought of.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so let's dive into this movie. Okay, so we already said it's released August 12th, 1983. You were 15, making out with the guy in the movie theater. I was
Yuck,
6.
yuck. I wasn't making out. He kissed me in the movie theater.
Well,
Move on to the facts
okay.
about the movie,
The
sister.
screenplay was by Lauren Currier. And like I said already, it's based on the novel by Stephen King, which is titled Cujo.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this.
Okay, tell me.
Stephen King has no memory of writing the novel Cujo.
Shut up right now.
Yeah. When he wrote it,
Like he
was
blacked
deep-
out?
He was just deep into struggles with substance abuse.
Is this really true?
No, it's really true. I saw multiple.
I wonder what
mentions
other
of it.
novels he doesn't remember. That is wild.
I know.
And it's wild that it came out to be like a sensical, like
Yeah.
this isn't even one that like goes off the rails and is weird.
Right.
Like it's a very just like realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, to an extent, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it was published the book was published in 1981. So the book wasn't out that long before they
Right.
decided to
They
make
must
this
have,
movie.
somebody read it and was like, let's make a movie out of that.
But like we
Rabid dog.
gotta find a rabid dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it was directed by Louis Teague, and Teague was actually known for handling animal-centered horror and suspense. And so it made him a natural choice for the producers when they were looking for someone to direct Cujo, although I had never heard of Louis Teague.
So the stars of the movie, we have Dee Wallace. We'll remember Dee. What do you remember Dee from, sister?
E.T., the
Yeah.
smoking mom.
That's right. So her name is
Wasn't she
Donna.
in something else we covered too?
Yeah, recently. I can't remember what it was because we were like, oh my gosh, there's the mom from E.T.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Dee Wallace as Donna Trenton. Obviously the mom. Just as Missy said, she started in E.T. and she had just started in E.T. in 82. So this is pretty back to back.
Yeah.
She said that the film was one of her most emotionally draining performances, particularly in the hot car scenes. And I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
laughing because
do
I'm
you
like,
know-
that's physically draining.
Yeah, well, she prepared for that role by fasting and dehydrating herself so that her physical exhaustion would be authentic on screen, which made me think of Charlie Sheen and Ferris Bueller, how he stayed up for like 72 hours straight to get that drunken
Yeah, I would be like, that's what we have the makeup people for.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Nope.
thank you. We also have precious Danny Pinacharo, and he played the little boy, Tad Trenton. He's
So
her young son.
precious.
He's only 7 during the filming. I think he looks even younger than that 'cause
I do too.
he's a tiny little tot.
He's a wee little
And
fellow.
he became known for Danny. I'm not sorry, no, not Danny. He wasn't Danny on the sitcom, but he was on Who's the Boss?
I loved that show.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And oh my gosh, what was his name in Who's the Boss?
I
I
can't remember
remembered,
that.
and now we were talking about it, and I'll tell you later because I'll remember it.
Well,
But
I
yeah.
will tell you that he was cast for this role from a Tide commercial.
Oh, that
He
makes
had
sense.
never acted before, and the director thought his innocent face was like perfect for little Tad.
He's adorable. He's
Mhm.
adorable. Daniel Hugh Kelly, he played Vic Trenton. He was the father, and he really wasn't in it that much. He was known for his work on TV films, later in the soap Ryan's Hope.
Loved Ryan's Hope. Loved it, loved it. We had Christopher Stone, who played Donna's lover, Steve. And we had Ed Lauder as Joe Camber, Cujo's owner. Um, he actually was a veteran character actor, and he was always cast in tough guys that were like authority
Yeah.
figures.
Yeah, I could see that, like a character actor.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot forget about this sweet little Cujo. Well, he wasn't sweet. Well, I say sweet little Cujo because there was a point where you and I were both like, oh my gosh, this poor,
I've
right?
got some
Remember?
interesting stuff to share throughout about why we
Because
would think
remember,
that. Yeah, yeah.
we were like, oh my gosh, this poor
I
baby.
know.
Anyway, multiple St. Bernards played the part of Cujo, and they were each trained for specific actions along the way in the film.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, the film was rated R with a runtime of almost specifically at our number, sister. It was an hour and 33 minutes. Sweet spot.
Love it. Love it. Maybe that's why it didn't ever feel boring because it was
Yeah.
fast moving.
Fast moving. Yeah.
It had a budget of 5 million and its worldwide gross was 21 million. So
Yeah.
they did pretty good.
It didn't win any major awards, but it became a cult classic. And so it's had longevity. And it's actually cited as one of the scariest Stephen King adaptations ever.
I agree. And one of the I was thinking about the budget versus what it made. And I'm sure this is true with other Stephen King films, but I think like it had such a good head start, right? Because people had read the book.
Right.
And so when it comes out as like, oh my gosh, we got to see this.
Well, that makes me think of, I love reading Colleen Hoover, like if I'm on vacation, and I know she's got 2 more movies coming out. Unfortunately, we probably won't ever see the sequel to It Ends With Us. However, like I already can't wait for these movies to come out of the books. So it's interesting that you said that. Yeah.
I agree. All right, fans, real fans, grab your seatbelts and roll up the windows. Please roll up those windows.
Yes.
It is time for Cujo.
Well,
Okay.
Amanda,
Yes, here we
this
are.
movie, it starts off with this friendly, large Saint Bernard named Cujo, the Camber family's pet, chasing a rabbit, frolicking in the meadows,
Yeah.
chasing a rabbit down into this small.
Looks like it could be like a Tide commercial.
Yeah,
or,
yes, it does. To a small cave, trying to find that rabbit. Where's that blasted rabbit? And it's he's bitten on the nose by a
Yeah,
bat.
he sticks his nose. It
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of Winnie the Pooh when he would try to get
Yeah.
back into his honey tree, and he couldn't. I mean, it was obviously just his nose could fit, and he was barking, barking, and those bats came out
Yep.
and one bit him on the nose.
And you know
So
what they say about bats. They carry disease, rabies.
it's like, what? What did they say about bats?
They turn people. Well, you know, you could have had a whole new movie if it had turned the Saint Bernard into into a vampire.
Okay, so after the bite, we cut to Tad, who, by the way, I did find out, he was Jonathan on Who's the Boss.
Jonathan, that's right. He
Mhm.
surely was.
We cut to Tad playing in his little room, and he's trying to go to sleep, but he thinks something's in his closet. And he screams for mom, which makes me think of Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Anyway, he screams for his mom, Dee Wallace, aka ET Mom. And
Yeah.
Mom and Tad, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but they have the same hairdo. I don't know if you
They do.
They
Yes.
totally have the same hairdo.
And I think we need to pause here and say something that we should have probably said at the very beginning because we don't get to do this enough. But we watched this together at Mom's.
That's right.
Weekend before last.
That's right.
So
you're right. We should have mentioned
did.
that.
I know.
I thought about it earlier.
We did talk about the haircut. So yes.
Yes. So yes, you remember they had the same haircut. Anyway, Dad comes in and explains that there's no real monsters, and Dad's cute, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
He's a cutie.
Yeah.
So they make it through the night, cuts to breakfast, and they're sitting at the breakfast table, and this like friend or neighbor or whoever pops in. And he's got this like wooden rocking horse that he's dropping off for Tad. And
he had repaired it, I think.
He'd repaired it or something.
Yeah.
And he's a little sketch. And what was his
There's a weird
name?
vibe.
There's a weird vibe. I can't
Yeah.
remember what his name was, but he was a little strange. But what was strange was that Mom was weird.
His name was Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Mom acted weird.
Right. Like
about
she
him
was
coming to
cutting
drop
her
it off.
eyes at him funny.
Yeah. And the dad
Yeah.
was just normal. He was like, oh, thanks. You know,
Yeah,
thanks
yeah.
for dropping it off. But the mom was weird. And you immediately were caught on to that. You were like,
Yeah, I did. I was like,
something
she's
going on
having an
there.
affair with him. Yep.
So then we see Dad and the same guy, Steve, meet for tennis. And then it cuts to we get to see like Dad and Steve are friends. They're playing tennis.
Right.
Then next thing you know, we see Mom having an affair with Steve. And you knew it.
I knew it.
You
And guess
knew
what? They were married in real life.
The neighbor,
At the time,
Dee
Mom and Steve were married in real life. So Dee and the actor who played Steve, Christopher Stone, they were actually married.
Interesting. Cute.
Fascinating fact.
Cute. Well, they're having an affair, and we knew it. You knew it, really. And we see her like get out of the bed. Like we're like, oh, they're having an affair. And first of all, his house is like really. I'm like, is he a hoarder? Is he like? I don't know. It's just weird.
Did he just move in?
Yeah, like it's really like a mess. And she gets out of the bed and looks in the mirror, and she's like feeling super guilty about her affair.
Yeah.
Which leads us back at home that night. There's tension at dinner. It's super quiet. And Dad feels the friction. And so he's like, honey, I want to talk about having another baby. And she's like, oh. So Dad is like, something's off. So I'm going to fix this problem by us having another baby.
That could be a podcast all on its own.
Yeah, I just want
people try to solve those type of problems.
When you have problems in a relationship, don't try to fix it by getting married, and don't try to fix it by having a baby. Those are not the fixes. Okay, so something, as we've said, it's all off. Everything's weird and strange, and we're just like, this isn't right. So Dad, and also I just want to say their house, I'm like, are they rich? Like, what's the deal?
They
Because
were uber rich.
their house is like big and fancy. It looks like I think that the story, I think it, if I'm correct, it takes place in Maine, and that, which is also, if I'm correct, typical for Stephen King movies in that area. And it was like on the water and on this hill.
Like over a cliff.
Yeah, it was
like it looked like I would have called as a little girl, and I guess I still do, a mansion. Like it
was
was
like a mansion, but it was beautiful,
beautimous.
white
Yes.
picket fence, the whole works.
And Dad had a gorgeous car.
So that's what I was just about to talk about. So Dad wheels off the next morning in his convertible. And what was it though? What was the car? Do you remember? It was it was like a Ferrari or something. Like it was something fancy.
Legit.
Fancy. It was fancy, but it was a convertible. And so he is wheeled off in his car, but we realize that there's like, he needs to get work done on it. Like there's something wrong with it. There's like a noise or something. I don't remember. But anyway, he is off to get his car repaired, and he pulls into the repair shop, and the guy, I don't remember if he gives him a bad price or something, but something's like they're haggling about something. Right. And the mailman's there.
That's right.
And says,
I forgot about that part.
I've got a tip for you. I know a guy up the road. He's fair. He does good work. This is where he lives. So he tells him he won't rip him off. So Dad's like, okay, cool. So he rides out with the family. He takes the whole family. I guess this is like over the weekend or something, to check it out. And when I say rides out, it is way out. Like it is way out in the country. They have to drive up this really isolated dirt road to get to the house. Right. And it's so country that when they pull up to the front of the house, the mom, like the lady of the house, is sitting out front,
a chicken. Yes.
Plucking a chicken for dinner, as if she is Granny Bell back in the day.
Yeah.
Plucking her chicken.
We lived out in the country, but I never saw anybody plucking chickens out there. But Mom did growing up. She saw that. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, back in the day. Yeah. And this was not back in that day.
No, right.
This was the 80s, girl.
This was the 80s.
Granny wasn't plucking chickens at this point.
Right.
So Cujo, as they're kind of scoping the place out, and he's talking to the guy about his car, Cujo runs up, and he is, as we know, he's already been bitten, but he's not rabid yet. He's just normal Cujo, and he's really friendly, and Tad pets him. The mom's a little leery, but the dad's like, I think it's fine, and he pets him, and he's sweet, and it's really cute. Well, we then cut back to the Trenton family, and Dad, this is where we're back at their house. Right. And they're having breakfast. And
there's a crisis.
There is a crisis. Thank you, sister. I was trying to find the words. There's a crisis because the dad, we discover here, this is, I guess, how they're so rich. He works for this big, I think, advertising company. Yeah. And he's like the marketing guy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so there's a big crisis because of the cereal market. They've marketed for this cereal, and now there's something about it that's making kids sick. And so it's just this whole rigmarole, big drama.
He's got to handle it.
Yes, he's got to handle it, right? And so we don't know how he's going to handle it, but he is definitely distracted with the cereal drama. Well, it's about this time, while Dad's distracted with all this, that Donna goes over to break it off with her lover slash
secret
lover, slash husband in real life, Steve. Okay.
Yeah.
She goes over to break it off. He comes out to the car, and he's like, no, we can't. So they're having it out. Well, about this time, Dad cruises by in the convertible, and he's like, does a double take. He's like, what did I just see? So he knew there was something.
Something wasn't right.
Yeah, he felt like this was very sus.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cute little sidebar I just want to add. After this, Mom goes to pick up Tad, And he has a Pac-Man lunchbox. Just want
Yes.
to
Did
add.
you ever have a Pac-Man lunchbox?
Mm-mm. No, no,
What
no,
was the favorite lunchbox you ever had? I know
no.
mine.
Hands down, my box, like 10,
Yeah.
Smurfs. Hands down,
Mine
all day
was
long.
like that, the old-fashioned kind, but mine was Holly Hoppy.
Oh, cute, cute. I'm
Yeah.
surprised I didn't never have an Annie one.
I swear I think you did.
Maybe I did, but Smurfs was my favorite. Loved
Okay.
it.
All
Okay,
right.
so now Cujo. Okay, so we're kind of going back and forth between
Right.
like
From their house
from
to the
yes.
farm.
So
Yeah.
now back to the farm, we get to see Cujo in his sort of like descent into madness, right?
It's horrible to watch. It's horrible to watch,
To
sister.
he's beginning to get rabies, and this is where you and I got really sad because he was like I've got tears in my eyes because he was so sweet, and you could just tell that like he knew something was happening to him.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm acting like this dog was like acting, but they made it seem like he
Yeah.
knew something was happening to him, like he was sick, right? Like he was not
Right.
right. And we
Yes.
had like when our dogs get sick, it's the worst because
It
they can't tell
is.
you.
Yes.
And it's like he knew something was wrong, and his family wasn't that good to him.
No,
And
they weren't.
so, like, nobody was really trying to take care of him. He was just trying to like hide out and feel better.
Yeah.
And it was really sad.
It
It
was
was
really
really
sad.
sad.
You're so right. Like, we right now look at that movie and think the family wasn't taking good care of him because they were basically letting him just run wild on the land. And, um, but really, that's the way dogs were treated. Like, you didn't have golden doodles who sat at the
I
dinner
know.
table back in the day,
I know, but
but
when I say they didn't
they
treat him
were kind
good,
of grumpy at him and
yeah,
stuff.
and like when
Yeah.
he seemed off, they weren't like,
Like,
"Oh,
what's
could
going
you?" Or
on, babe?
yeah, and like when
Yeah.
they couldn't find him, it wasn't like yeah, it was just weird. I don't know. They just
Yeah.
didn't treat him like he needed to be treated. Um, and so his temperament starts changing, and his sweet-natured personality is really being replaced by aggression.
Yeah.
And the main thing that really sets off his aggression, he does not like loud noises.
Loud noises.
It gets
Yes.
him really easily irritated.
I'm kind of the same way. I'm
You,
kind of the same
oh
way.
my
I
gosh, just
don't,
like we talked about Top Gun. I was like, oh, you just
yeah.
like the movies nice and quiet.
I just don't like too
Loud
much of a loud
noises.
noise. Yeah.
You really don't. You really don't.
You know what's
Um,
the worst?
I know what it is. I know what you're going to
Real
say.
fans.
I know what
This
you're going
is
to
the
say.
worst.
Can I say it
One.
and you tell me if I'm right?
Okay.
If the TV is on and nobody's watching it.
Okay.
And
I
it's
do
none.
not like that. Yes. I do not like naked audience TV. But no, the worst to me, the absolute worst is to be sitting in a room or a public place
Yeah.
and someone turned their phone on like Instagram videos without headphones, and it's a swipe, and you
Uh-huh.
keep hearing these
Uh-huh.
noises, and they're loud and they're annoying, and they're
Uh-huh.
things that they might think are funny, or it literally, it makes me feel like Cujo. I'm going to start calling myself Cujo whenever I get like that. I have asked um someone in an airport before to please put that on silent or put in some earphones. But
Yeah.
I have also tried the tactic of sitting by someone who did that and turning my phone on as
Uh-huh.
high of a volume as I can and
Yeah.
doing the same
Because
thing.
it's so rude.
It's so rude. And I don't even like it when someone does it like if a bunch of our family was together and somebody pulled their phone up and started flicking through, like I don't like that. I can't stand it. Now, if somebody said, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to just watch this real quick,"
Yeah, totally fine.
totally, like watch it and then show us. Let's all enjoy it. But for
No,
someone just to like be like, "Oh, I'm
it's
just
like that's their
looking at
private
my phone."
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
My husband likes to do that sometimes. He did it this morning while I was trying to do my Bible study.
Uh-huh.
I had to plug my ears because I was like, I can't
Yeah.
listen to that and pay attention. Anyway, okay. Girl, I know.
I
Okay.
know we digress, but
We digress, but it's
we had to
important.
yeah, it was.
So Cujo is just going downhill, y'all, and it's
Yeah.
sad. And he's looking bad. It's not good. Well, Vic Remember, now we're back with Dee's family.
Right.
Vic discovers, he saw them outside, Steve and Dee.
He
Not
thought
Dee.
something
It
was
was
up.
Steve and I don't know what her name is in the show, but I call her Dee.
We'll just call her D.
We'll just call her Dee.
We're on a first name basis.
She remember he saw them, so he is on
Something's
thinking
up.
something's weird. Yes.
Right.
Well, he comes home and finds Steve has been at the house, and he knows the vibe is off. And so after Steve leaves, he just asks, yes or no. And she says, yes. So
the word is out that Dee and Steve are lovers. That Dee and Steve are lovers. That Dee
and now that's it. Like, that's where it leaves us.
Right.
It
leaves
us hanging.
Leaves us hanging. That's
so
right.
So then we go back to Cujo's house. Well, they leave town. Well, not all of them, but the wife leaves, and the son leaves.
Yeah, they're going to visit.
Yeah, they're going to visit. Yeah. So they're going to visit. And they leave the dad behind. And by the way, when I say they're not very nice, really it's the dad. Like, he is not very nice.
Right.
And I think that's also kind of why they were like, we need a break from this joint. So
he was very not nice to his family too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's why they're like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So that leaves Joe and Cujo alone on the farm property. And we get our first victims because Cujo, he's fully rabid now. And the once gentle dog ends up killing their drunk neighbor, who was definitely not nice to Cujo.
No, not at all.
He was like making loud noises on purpose and stuff. Like he was not. And Cujo like went and found him at his house. And it was a pretty gory, bloody scene. Like it was bad. It was really bad. And then Cujo's owner, Joe, comes to the house and finds the gory, bloody scene, and Cujo attacks him. So those are his first two victims. And then Cujo goes on back home.
Yeah, he does. Well, I wanted to share with you that for like those dangerous scenes, they used a mechanical dog, like mechanical dog heads, and they actually had a stunt man in a dog suit. And the other thing they did is that the trainers would coat the dogs and different things with syrup or food, and that would encourage the dogs to lick or paw, and it made it look like attacks.
Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
The stunt man in a dog suit, though,
I know it almost sounds
hilarious.
Funny. All I can
would
think
have
of
never guessed that. I would have never guessed that.
Right. It makes me think of like those shows like from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, where you'd have like two men in a horse suit, and you'd see, like one man was the front and one man was the back or something.
Yeah. But that I would would you have thought? I would have never guessed from watching it that was. They did a good job, because it didn't look like that at all.
Right.
All right. So as we said, Vic, it's Donna, not Dee. Donna. So Vic has.
But we're calling her Dee for her first initial. We'll just
perfect.
Say that.
Love that. So as we know, Vic, we're back to their family. He's, knows that his wife's having an affair. He's super distressed about the cereal debacle and the advertising business. So he has to leave on a business trip.
He's got to go take care of that.
He's
rather
than
take
care of business.
Sure.
And he needs some time anyway to think. Like he just needs to get away. And so we cut to the scene with Joe's son, Brett.
Right.
And there's Cujo in the fog outside. And
that was so scary.
Yeah, because now he's home. They're home from their trip. And I was so terrified. I literally covered my ears and I couldn't watch it. I just was so afraid that he was about to attack him. And you know what? I'm wrong. It wasn't that they had come back yet. They hadn't left yet, because they aren't home when later on in the movie.
Right.
Nobody's there. So, okay, I was wrong, but they were getting ready to leave.
Yeah, but
And
Cujo doesn't attack him.
he does not, but I just was terrified that
Yeah.
he was going to attack him because that would have made me sad. Okay, so here is another little fascinating fact for you, real fans. Like we said, there was a lot of we got to see this descent of Cujo. Like he looked like a happy, healthy, normal dog, and then as he got rabid, that changes. And so Missy, you already talked about the syrup and just it just was a lot of gunkiness and grossness.
Ugh, so gross.
So yeah, it was really gross. So to simulate the foam of an animal that's rabid, the handlers used egg whites around the dog's mouths to
Yeah.
simulate that rabid foam look, which is
Yes.
interesting because there had to be a lot of things like that happening because they had such a good look.
Yeah. One thing we didn't say was when Dad headed out to town, he reminded Mom that she needed to get her car fixed. But can we just talk about this for a second?
Yes, this is actually super important.
Because they live in this major, beautiful home. I mean, I'm talking about like beautiful by today's standards.
Yeah. Like this home on the water.
Beautiful, shiny sports car. And Mom drives a Ford Pinto, which, by the way, they used a Ford Pinto because it was notorious back in the day for having real safety issues and kind of being a lemon in real life. And so the logic that Mom would have that Ford Pinto.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to suspend reality for that. Yeah.
Unless, yeah, I was going to try to, that wouldn't even be, I was like trying to think of an excuse. And I'm so glad you brought that up because I totally forgot. And it goes back to the previous scenes when we saw her like going to Steve's and picking up Tad. That Pinto would not start. Like it would.
Right.
It would only start intermittently.
Right.
Like it was not consistent.
Right.
And so he reminded her she needed to go get it checked. Now, also, sister, in that same vein, again, if you like, there's nowhere like in the town to go get your car serviced. Besides,
no, they might take advantage of you financially. You got to drive out to the country, even for the Ford Pinto.
So weird. Okay, so she remembers she's got to go get her car fixed because it is giving her trouble again with Tad, and Dad's gone, and she's like, "Oh, I've got to get. I need to go
out to the farm.
Got to go out to the farm to get the car fixed." So she heads out to the farm
with Tad.
With Tad, of course. And they get out there and the car breaks down completely. So there they sit. She cannot get it started. And Cujo now is full-blown crazy dog. Killed 2 people already. Disgusting.
Yeah.
And he comes out and starts chasing them to attack. And so it forces, obviously, they get in the car and close the doors. And it is a really intense scene. He's like trying to get in the window and they're trying to roll up because remember, boys and girls, this is before the electrical window situation.
That's right.
This is you roll that baby up.
Do you remember those? Do you remember rolling up a window? Me too. I have a little fascinating fact here is that Danny, the little cute actor who played Tad, they really got like some coaching for him and probably like some therapy for him through this because of the intense fear that the scenes caused because he was so young. Yeah. And I think they were worried about it scarring him.
Yeah. I mean, that dog is like coming into their car, barking and just like
Mm-hmm.
vicious. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know at this point if it is the mechanical head or if it's, I don't know what the
It doesn't
situation is.
matter at that point. It's terrifying.
I was going to say, to me, it looked like a rabid Saint Bernard trying to get in that car.
Yeah,
It's
agreed.
just, it's
Agreed.
so terrifying.
And also, Amanda, like he's covered in blood from these
Yeah.
other killings he's done.
Yeah, he
Like
looks
he's
terrifying.
covered in blood and snot and mucus and those egg whites. Oh, it's just horrible.
Well, they do get into the car by the skin of their teeth, like we said, and they're basically stuck. They are
Mm-hmm.
stuck, and they really don't have anything with them.
Yeah. It's not like everybody now who carries Stanley thermoses and things like
full of
that.
water bottles
Right.
and
And yeah, you
snacks in
didn't
the
really
bin.
even have water bottles then. Think about it.
No,
There were no water bottles.
no.
I mean, there may have been some water bottles, but not like people use water bottles today.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Like, I love the memes that are like, never drank a drop of water my entire life until my adulthood. Now I can't leave the house without a full bottle of water, Stanley cup full of
I
water
need to
or
do
whatever.
better drinking water. You know where I go for my hydration
Yeah. Cheers.
right here.
Okay. So they end up having to sleep in the car.
Yeah, because she can't get it to crank.
She can't get it to crank. They wake up. They see Cujo staring.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, isn't this the one where they wake up and he's sitting and he's just staring at him in the
Yeah.
the window, like in the
Yep.
front window.
Yep.
And while this is happening, remember Vic has left to go take care of business,
Right.
and he's calling home and not getting a hold of his wife, and so he thinks she's out having
catting around.
she's catting around with the
Yeah.
neighbor. Interesting fact here. These famous car scenes, which they were in this car for a long time.
Well, I think in the movie it's like 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
it's 3
Or,
days.
well, 2 nights, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And it was shot over several weeks in sweltering heat with temperatures inside that Ford Pinto getting up to or above 100 degrees.
Yeah, I heard they had to do it, or when I was doing some research, it was like they would do it took so long because they had to do it in such like short
Increments.
time spans and with increments, and then
Because it was
a
so
break
hot.
from the heat. Yeah.
So I guess all that sweat and grossness was real.
Yeah.
Well, they are struggling desperately. The summer heat is just sweltering. I think she did have like a little thing, because remember she was giving him just
Yeah.
little bitty sips of
Yeah.
water.
They did have some.
They had a little bit of water. But I mean, they're in this, you know what it's like in a burning hot car, and they couldn't crack the windows because he could get in. And so
Right.
they could just barely crack just a little bit to get a little bit of airflow.
And they weren't parked under a big shade tree at the time.
No.
They were
Mm-mm.
right in the middle of the home
Like the
place.
front of the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just right there. And Cujo just keeps getting set off and attacking the car. One thing they did figure out at one point was that the loud noises were really bothersome. Like from
the
her,
telephone would ring in the house. And that's
Yes.
when you'd see him just lose it.
lose it.
Mhm.
Tad screaming, her honking the horn. Like
Yeah.
there was things that they did realize set him off.
Yeah.
So, and this is just going back and forth and back, and it's just so scary because at one point he like breaks the window almost,
Yeah.
and Tad is just so scared. And he does a really good job.
He is a great little actor in this movie.
He does a really, really great job. I mean, he is scared.
Yeah.
Finally, Donna comes to the realization that she's going to have to try to get in the house
Yeah.
because Danny is like fading fast.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's
is.
dehydrated, he's having a hard time breathing. She's like, she knows they're going to die in that car
Yeah.
if she doesn't try to make a run for it. So there was so much tension.
There was.
And I just have to say, why did she not wait until she saw that Cujo was not near the car? Like,
Yeah, I would have had to have my eyes on him the
right.
whole
Like,
time.
she did not know where because he was like, and sitting in front of the car, she couldn't see him. So
Yeah.
she gets out not knowing where he
Yeah.
is.
No way would I have done that.
Yeah. I guess she felt good because she was like, I'm running to the house and he's not sitting at the stairs like before
Yeah,
he would sit.
maybe so.
But like, you need to be able to see him like over by the barn or something.
Right. I have a fascinating fact here because, of course, this is where we see the Cujo and the Saint Bernards that are playing him, and this is one kind of in the midst of it being the worst. But we were talking about these cute dogs, right? How cute they are. Well, the crew would sometimes have to tie like fishing line around the dog's tail to
Uh-huh.
keep it still because the St. Bernards were like so happy and they were continually like wagging their tail. And so they would literally have to kind of hold their tail with fishing line in some of
Oh,
those
those
scenes,
sweet
especially when it
babies.
was like in the car and it was just him there on that flat
Uh-huh.
ground.
Uh-huh.
They would do it there.
Oh, those sweet babies. That's so sweet. Well, okay. So she makes a run for it.
Yep.
And like I said, she should have had her eyes on Cujo, but she didn't. And Cujo makes a run for her. So
Yes.
she
Scared me to
obviously,
death.
yes, she obviously runs back to the car, but she doesn't quite make it fast enough because she gets a little bite. Or wait, did she already have the bite, sister? She already had the bite, didn't she? No, this is it. I'm sorry. This
Yeah,
is where
this
she
is
gets
it.
it. It's at the end. Yeah. So she gets bit here. And well, we know what that means. That I mean, the dog's rabid. Now she has been bitten by the dog.
Yep.
So this can't be good. Well, she does make it back into the car by the skin of her teeth.
Right.
And
And now we're like going into that second night, right? Yeah.
and I think she like takes her shirt and like ties up her wound or whatever, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's bad. Like
It-
they are in bad shape.
yeah.
So they do go through that next night. All the while, dad's calling, can't get a hold of him. He wakes up in the middle of the night and he's panicked.
He is
He's like,
panicked.
I can't get a hold of my family. And he's thinking that D is he's thinking the affair, but he also has this sense of panic that something's
Yeah,
wrong.
I definitely felt like that at that
Yeah.
point it was more of a panic that something's wrong. And he leaves. He leaves his
Well,
trip, right?
he
He's
does.
like, I've got to
He
go
does.
check
He
on my
tells,
family.
yeah, he tells the guy, it's either his colleague or his boss, but he does mention the affair. So I think that was on his mind a little bit, but I do, yeah, but I think that he also had a sense that something was really wrong. So
Yeah.
this is the point where, like I said, Tad was already in really bad shape. This is when though they wake up the next day and it's almost like they are at this point delusional. Like she
Yeah.
seems like she's delusional almost.
Right.
Tad wakes up, starts like he can't breathe and his eyes start
Yeah.
rolling back in his head. It's so scary.
It is.
It
It's
is
sad.
so scary. Um it's like they're losing their minds. And
Yeah.
I think that it's supposedly, I think in the book, or it's probably portrayed as like heat stroke is what it would
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
what it would be technically called. All right. So we are getting to the tragic end.
Here we go.
The sheriff is actually called out to see what's going on out there. And we know Donna and Tad are trapped. And so he heads on out and Cujo attacks him brutally, reinforcing Donna's desperation. So he gets attacked and killed before he can do anything to help.
Yeah. And he's trying to grab his gun to shoot Cujo and defend himself, but he doesn't. And that gun falls
On the
to
ground.
the ground. Yeah.
So it's kill or be killed.
Yeah. It's time.
Donna's
It's
got
time
to
for
do
the
something.
duel, so to speak.
Tad is
Dog
having
and Donna.
yes, or D. So Tad, like we said, he is suffering from heat stroke and dehydration.
Yeah.
So there's a bat laying out in the yard. So she
was eyeing that bat.
She was eyeing the bat. And I think in this moment, she was just a little bit loopy, like just crazy. So she gets out, she arms herself. She's got that wooden bat, and he jumps at her, and she just starts hitting him like a piñata. And in fact, she hits him so hard, the bat breaks at one point. And she actually stabs him in the chest with the jagged end of the bat.
Yes.
And gets him off of her. And then she gets the gun that's laying on the ground in hand. And we think she's going to shoot Cujo, but she doesn't. She actually is holding the gun in her hand. And when she gets over to her car, that's a good thing because the handle's broken from Cujo, like, messing up the handle when he's attacking it. So she shoots the handle to get Tad out because she can't get him out.
And that's when she like has to do the heroic, I always call it like the hero carry.
Yes.
She like gets him out of the car, right? And she walks him up to the house.
Yes. You know what?
What?
Real fans, I just had a realization.
What?
She when she goes over with the gun, she's trying to shoot the lock off, but she can't, that she's not able to get the door open. That's what it is. She goes around to the back and she hits that window with the gun.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember
and
that.
Scoops him out. She's trying to get the lock off and the gun is not working. So she that's when she hits the glass in the Pinto, like back in that area where you and Tracy used to put me when you would cruise around. And she scoops him up. They run into the house. So she gets in the house and she's like lays him on the table. She's splashing him with water, putting water in his mouth, trying to give him CPR. And they are so dirty and gross. And
it's just horrific.
It's disgusting. And then we see coming up behind her, coming through the window is Cujo.
Yes.
And she grabs that gun and shoots him. So she gets to...
In the nick of time.
In the nick of time. And about this time, Vic arrives to find Donna cradling Tad, who actually has survived.
However, that is different than the Stephen King novel, Cujo. In that novel, Tad actually dies. But in the movie, they had him survive because the filmmakers believed that audiences needed some hope, which we did. Thank you, filmmakers, for such an intense story.
Yeah. And I actually read, and I guess I read that Stephen King felt, but maybe he didn't if he didn't remember it, but maybe, I mean, you know, maybe after the fact when he was looking at the story that he felt sort of, I don't know, maybe a sense of regret that the boy had died in the story. And so he wanted a chance to let him live.
Oh, I love that. I didn't see that.
So interesting. But either way, I'm glad he lived because that would have been
me too. I couldn't have handled it.
Me either. It was sad enough that like, I guess it was just sad to me that happened to Cujo because he was just an innocent, like he was totally innocent. He wasn't a bad dog. So it was sad. All right, sister, what do you think? Does it measure up? Was it scary?
Definitely scary. I loved watching it with you. I think this when you first think of Cujo, you think that it's a story about a dog and it's all about the dog, but really and truly, I was thinking about it, and it's really a story of our, especially for women, our most innate trait as moms is to protect our kids. And
Yep.
really, it is a story of a mom's tenacious effort to save her child despite all the external things.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I say yes, it measures up.
One thing that I did not mention as we were going through the movie that, like, as I'm thinking about it and you saying that, I 100% agree with that. Like, that was her. And trust me, I'm not saying that I would not have been this way, because I would have. And so this is something I appreciate. But when they were stuck in the car and, Tat, like, she wasn't this, like, super nice mom when they
No,
like,
she wasn't.
like, he was whiny and she was irritated, and it showed. Like, there
Well,
wasn't any
what?
like gentle parenting going on.
Right.
She
Well,
was,
it's almost, and I'm not making an analogy to the Cujo movie in Disney World, but just think about when you're at Disney World, right? It's
yes,
supposed to be the happiest place on earth. I have seen more parents frustrated and
yeah,
kids throwing fits
yeah,
and being annoying, and it's the heat and it's
yeah.
the sensory overload.
And
And
I
so
like
it
how they
makes
portrayed
sense.
that. Yeah, they
Yeah, for
portrayed it that
sure.
way. She was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, Tat," she was annoyed with them.
right.
And I think I like that because it was realistic, because
Yeah.
I would have felt that way too. It totally measures up for me. I love this movie. I love that it is, I mean, there is like a little bit of gore, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And but it's super scary, and it's not supernatural. It's not religious. Like, it's nothing about like religion or any of that sort of
Yeah.
like stuff that I don't like for scary
Yeah. I don't
movies.
like sacrilege
Um
in a movie. No.
and so I love this so much.
I
And I
can't
don't
say that I loved it. I enjoyed watching it with you. I enjoyed doing it on the
I love
podcast.
it for a scary movie.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be one I just would like pick
I
anytime, but
just
I like
love
it for scary movies.
thrillers. Like I'm more of
Yeah.
a thriller girl, but
Oh, yeah.
I would say it measures up for for what it was then
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the enjoyment factor
Yeah.
now and kind of a fun way.
Mhm. And I don't typically love Stephen King movies, and
No, me
I think
either.
this is probably the one I like the best. So I think it's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun watch.
Well, real fans, that's a wrap on Cujo. It's a movie that proved horror or spooky movies don't always have to depend on the supernatural to be terrifying. Real life can sometimes be terrifying as well.
That's right, girl. And now it's time for clues to see if you can guess what movie we're rewinding next week. Clue number 1. It's a romantic dramedy that dives into the ups and downs of modern relationships. I guess modern for the time period.
Right. Yeah. Clue number 2, it stars two of the biggest Brat Pack names of the 80s.
Oh, gorgeous. Clue number 3, based on a David Mamet play, it shows what really happens after Happily Ever After.
I've got one more I'm going to throw in there since I said it stars two of the biggest Brat Pat names.
Okay.
I'm going to say it also stars a beanbag. A beanbag. I can't wait for this one. Real fans, be sure to subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating, and write a quick review.
That's right. And don't forget, if you send us a screenshot of your review to hello@realsistersrewind.com, we will mail you a Real Sister sticker as a thank you.
That's right. And thank you, real fans, for rewinding with us. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, sister.
Y'all.
Love
Bye,
you.
sister. Love you.